put.
Okay. So you want to talk about race today.
Yeah.
So you start.
So, today I showed you that video of Charles Barkley interviewing Richard Spencer, the white nationalist. I guess he's pretty big in politics as of right now. And in that video they talk about like sort of what they want, and they kind of say in the video is that they pretty much want the same thing, but Richard Spencer wants power and he wants to keep his race abundant and in power.
And separated.
Separated as well. So it's basically bring back segregation.
He doesn't consider himself racist.
Yeah.
And his only argument for why he's not racist is saying, well, I wouldn't say I dislike black people. Is that what he said? Something like that?
Mm-hmm.
That was his argument against saying he's not racist.
Mm-hmm.
Which is dumb, because just because you don't verbally say those things doesn't mean you're not racist. If you're thinking those things, and you probably are, and he probably, I don't know if he actually dislikes black people or not, but it seems like he does because he doesn't want them to come in contact with his family. He doesn't want his children to grow up around them, so clearly he's got something against them.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense, like, to say, I don't hate black people, but I really don't want them around me. Like, nowhere, there should be separate states for white people and black people. Like, we should be not together. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And it's really dumb because it's like, of course it works. It works all the time. There's interracial couples everywhere. Like, my dad's might be black, partly, but he's not like black. But my mom and my dad are different races. Yeah, they're different races.
My parents as well.
And they had kids and they were married.
My friends' parents as well.
Yeah.
And my other friends' parents as well.
And it's not like they didn't get along. They didn't get along for different reasons, but it's not because of their race. Race had nothing to do with it. It was all personal problems. You can have a white couple have the exact same problems, or just a black couple have the exact same problem.
Well, what was his name? Richard Spencer? What else did he say? I don't quite remember. I just remember disagreeing completely with multiple aspects of where he was coming from.
I think one of the things that he said was that he doesn't believe in equality. He says there's no equality in nature.
Which is true to an extent, but it depends. So the way I see equality in nature is there's no equality of ability in nature. It's like that quote, I don't remember who said it, but if you judge a fish by how well it can climb a tree, it's going to grow up believing it's stupid.
I think that was Einstein.
Did Einstein say that?
I think so.
So, like, in nature, separate species aren't equal to each other in what they can accomplish in their own environments. But it depends on how you view life, like whether or not just life, as life forms, are they equal? I believe they are equal as life forms. I, to an extent, believe that humans and animals are equals as far as life goes. So, definitely, one race and another race are equals on terms of life.
Because race doesn't have anything to do with species. Mm-hmm. We're not different species, we're the exact same species. And I think it's more complicated than just saying there's no equality in nature, because it's like we're, as human beings, a lot more complicated and act in our social structures. We act in a lot more complicated manners than lions or wolves or apes or anything like that. So like you can't just say equality in nature. There's no equality in nature, because just because there's no equality in nature, it has nothing to do with treating other people with respect or giving them equality that they want or need. Like, because we're capable of recognizing that, that gives us even more power to even do so. Mm-hmm. Most animals can't understand that one animal is being like left out or anything, but we can understand that tenfold. I can see someone suffering and help them. Animals can too, but it's like they don't think of themselves as independent entities. They just exist. They don't think at all, that I know. It's more complex than...
It's a bad comparison.
Yeah, he's making it seem like he's just acting as an animal, which is okay because we are animals, but it's like we can also comprehend a lot higher than a lot of other animals, and you're just giving in to those animal instincts. I feel if you're saying that, like, I hate you because I hate you. Well, rationalize why do you just like this? Mm-hmm. And I feel like they think that they're being rational, but they really, I mean, they might be, but it's like their rationality is like doesn't line up with like compassion or like being a good person. You know, if you're a good person, you can be nice to everyone. You can get along with everyone.
I wonder what he thinks about white people, or what about white people he thinks is superior. Like, why are they not on equal terms as everyone else? What could it be? He can't argue intelligence because there's plenty of non-white intelligent scientists and politicians and just people all over that are more intelligent than him, so you can't argue that white people are innately more intelligent. Maybe it's a religious standpoint, and he feels like God has blessed white people with their privilege, which to him could be proof that they are more superior. I'm just not sure exactly what he thinks. I would like to know why white supremacists believe they are more.
I think it has to do with like looking back on history and how dominant whites have been throughout the entire world. Like even if you look at a place like India, like they had the caste system. There's people called untouchables because they're so dark, and then like you get more white as the caste system goes up, and like how dominant Europe was in the world and the economy and everything. Like, if you look back and you see that and you think, man, these white people are the best. They're the best race because look at how far we've come, how advanced we've gotten because of these white people. It was never the brown people that were doing anything. It was always the white people because they were always in power.
But then, I guess maybe that is how they see it, but it's not necessarily accurate when you look at all the innovations that came from China. Like, so many things came from them, and so many aspects of civilization came from them, and they were very brilliant and a well-established civilization, and they still are a world superpower. So you could argue the same thing about Chinese people. Like, Chinese people are superior to everyone else
because
of the way history has gone.
Right. And it's funny that point is funny because it's like that really stomps the white part of it, because China has been China for way longer than any white civilization has even existed.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Roman Empire fell, and China was there still.
Mm-hmm.
And China is still here. Like, obviously, Chinese people are better than white people, if you think of it looking back on history.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. And then this has something to do about the video uploader. The video is like the 4th episode of this interview. We didn't watch the other episodes, and there's a line after it said 4th episode. It said Barkley wants white genocide.
Was such an absurd statement, because listening to the whole interview, or at least the whole episode, never did he state anything of the sort. The most of what he stated was that black people want the same as what white people want. Maybe if the whites, whoever uploads video thinks white people want genocide, then maybe he could take it from that, but he never said anything like that. He just said he wanted people to be equal, and he wanted his children to grow up without discrimination.
Mm-hmm.
He never said anything like that, and it was really interesting reading the uploader's description on the video as well. It just shows that people that are so blinded by hatred and racism are exactly that, like blinded. They don't really see what's in the video. They make things up. They kind of skew it to a really gross extent, actually.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even make sense how he would have come to that conclusion. My best guess is when Barkley said to Spencer, "Your great-great-grandchildren will be brown." And statistically, he'll probably have some brown great-great-grandchildren. It's just going to happen. It's true. Maybe you could have misconstrued that as all white people will be gone, and he wants white genocide, but that's definitely not what he meant by that. I don't know. It's just crazy how they can twist words so viciously to meet their agenda.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's like, it goes back to like their definition of what genocide is. To me, like, a genocide is like literally killing off a certain populace for no reason, and making them suffer and targeting them specifically. And maybe that's what some of these people feel. They feel like white people are always being targeted. But if that's their definition, like genocide, get rid of white people, target white people, get rid of them, that's their definition of genocide, then I feel like it's a misinterpretation of the word and misuse of it, because it makes it sound a lot worse than it actually is. But I did think of this thing just now. It made me think of this thing that I said to Sam. I said, America is the most important experiment the human race has ever done. And I mean that by America as a melting pot, and that's what makes America great, is that there's a lot of different cultures and races and people and ideologies and all this stuff living in
one spot.
one spot.
The first time ever.
Yeah, first time ever in the history of the world. And it's an experiment because it is the first time, and if we can make America work, live in harmony with one another and stop fighting, it'll set the standard for the entire world.
That's true.
The more that America fights amongst ourselves because of race and gender and all this stupid shit, the more the world is
going to be resilient to cohesion.
Exactly.
Guess we could be wrong.
Yeah,
Cool.
probably are.